Do you spend hours cleaning your house and still feel like it never truly looks clean? Have you ever had the sensation that even after all your hard work, it only takes a few minutes for everything to look messy again? Maybe the problem isn't how much you clean or the products you use, but rather the order in which you do everything. Yes, there is a correct cleaning order. And when you ignore that logic, you end up wasting time, energy, and often dirtying things you had already cleaned. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. The perfect sequence to clean your home without spending endless hours and with results that actually last. Before we begin, answer me this in the comments. Do you follow any specific order when you clean? Or do you just go with whatever you see first? And what if I told you that changing this order could cut your cleaning time almost in half? Would you believe it? Let's get straight to the point. Most people start cleaning in the wrong place. And that's the first mistake that turns cleaning into a never-ending cycle. Efficient cleaning follows a simple logic: from top to bottom, from inside to outside, and from dry to wet. This phrase may sound obvious, but it's ignored in almost every household. And that's exactly why dirt seems to never go away. Let's begin with the first step of the right order: planning. Before you start frantically cleaning everything, stop for 5 minutes and look at your home as a whole. Choose one room at a time and set the sequence. Ideally, start with the cleaner areas and finish with the dirtiest ones, like the bathroom and kitchen. That way, you avoid carrying dirt from one place to another. If you start with the bathroom, for example, and then move on to the living room, there's a big chance you'll spread dirt without realizing it. Now that you have a plan, it's time for the first practical step: removing excess. And here's one of the biggest mistakes people make: starting to clean with a damp cloth or applying products directly on top of dust and clutter. That doesn't clean anything. It just spreads the dirt around. The first thing you should always do is put objects back in their place, pick up clothes, organize anything that's messy, and remove any loose debris. Only after that does the real cleaning begin. The second step, in the proper order, is dusting. And here's where the top-to-bottom logic comes into play. Always start by cleaning the highest areas: shelves, cabinets, picture frames, ceiling fans, and light fixtures. Why? Because gravity exists. Everything you clean up there will fall down. If you vacuum or mop the floor before doing this, you'll just have to clean it again. How many times have you cleaned the floor only to notice a layer of dust that fell from the furniture afterward? Exactly. That's the reason. While cleaning those higher areas, avoid using feather dusters that just lift the dust into the air. They're a common trap. Instead, use slightly damp microfiber cloths, which actually capture the dust rather than sending it floating around. And don't forget to clean light switches, outlets, and handles, which often go unnoticed. After dusting comes the third step: vacuuming or sweeping. But here's an important warning: sweeping before dusting is a waste of time. The dust will fall again, and you'll have to sweep twice. The correct sequence is to dust first, and only then sweep or vacuum. And if you have rugs, vacuum them carefully at this stage. There's no point cleaning them after the floor is already wet. Now we've reached the fourth step: cleaning medium surfaces like countertops, tables, appliances, and general furniture. This is the time to use proper cleaning products. And there's also a logical order here. Always go from the least dirty to the dirtiest. If you use the same cloth to clean a table and then a greasy stove, you'll just spread the dirt around. Use different cloths for each task, and ideally, different colors to help you identify which is which. One detail many people overlook: clean the small objects too. Remote controls, doorknobs, handles, the top of the refrigerator, all of these accumulate dirt and germs. And there's nothing more frustrating than looking at a seemingly clean room and spotting those dirty little details. They make all the difference in the overall feeling of cleanliness. Now that everything is organized, dust-free, and surfaces are clean, we've arrived at what many people do at the beginning but should actually do at the end, the floor. And this is where the dry to wet part comes in. First, vacuum or sweep, then wipe with a damp cloth and cleaning product. And finally, if you want, use a dry cloth to add shine. Never the other way around. If you use a wet cloth before removing dry debris, you'll turn dust into mud. And that makes everything harder. Another important tip is to clean from the inside out of the room. Many people start cleaning near the door and move toward the back, and then have to walk over the floor they just cleaned. Always start in the farthest corner and work your way toward the exit. That way, you won't step on areas that are already clean. Following this logic, you not only save time, but also avoid rework. And yes, this sequence works for almost every room, but the kitchen and bathroom have a few particularities that deserve special attention. Let's start with the kitchen. Here, the most common mistake is cleaning the floor before cleaning the stove or countertops. The result? Everything splashes back onto the floor, and you have to clean it twice. The right approach is to follow the same logic. Start with the upper cabinets, then appliances and countertops, the stove last, and only then the floor. Another important point is the sink. It should be one of the last things you clean, because you'll probably use it several times throughout the cleaning process. In the bathroom, the logic is similar, but with a crucial detail. Always go from top to bottom and from cleanest to dirtiest. Start with mirrors, shelves, and walls, then the sink, toilet, and finally the floor. And avoid the mistake of cleaning the toilet and then touching other parts with the same cloth or gloves. That just spreads germs. Set aside separate cloths and gloves exclusively for that part. Now let me ask you, which part of the house do you hate cleaning the most? Bathroom, kitchen, floor, windows? Tell me in the comments, because that might be the topic of the next video on the channel. I personally hate cleaning the kitchen. Back to the cleaning order. There's another point many people ignore: frequency. The order isn't just for deep cleaning, it also works for quick daily cleanups. If you set aside 10 to 15 minutes a day to follow this simplified sequence: dusting, wiping with dry and damp cloths, cleaning surfaces, and vacuuming, you'll notice that your home will never look filthy again, even after a few days. Another advantage of following this sequence is that you'll use less product and effort. When you clean out of order, you often overuse chemical products thinking the dirt isn't coming off, when in fact, it just came back because you didn't follow the right logic. Besides spending more money, this can damage surfaces and even harm your health due to the excess chemicals in the air. And speaking of products, here's a quick bonus tip. Choose the right products for each stage. There's no point in using disinfectant instead of detergent, or an all-purpose cleaner where you need a degreaser. That also affects the results and is often mistaken for poor cleaning when, in reality, it was just the wrong product at the wrong time. Before we wrap up, I want to know your opinion. Had you ever stopped to think that the order might be making you waste time? And now that you know this, which part of your cleaning routine will you change first? Leave your answer in the comments because I really want to know. And from now on, whenever you're cleaning and feel like it's taking too long or the dirt just won't go away, remember, maybe the problem isn't the effort, it's the order. Swap disorganization for strategy, and you'll see your home transform without having to work harder. If this video helped you understand what was wrong in your cleaning routine, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos with more tips that really work. A big hug and see you soon.